Hello and welcome back to Arise News Hour. I'm Petri Hosker. Well, for centuries, global migration has brought benefits to the host countries, but also challenges, and generation after generation have grappled with issues of racial tensions, religion and culture. Well, now, two women have decided to do something about their communities in Britain. While the subject remains the same, what's new is the way technology is helping them reach millions. Well, in a moment, I'll be talking to Satya Sadias and Imriel Morgan, two millennials using podcasting to shine a light on ethnic minority experiences in Britain. Well, the two grew up in London and have quickly amassed a cult following that tunes into their weekly uncensored, podcast sessions. Well, no topic is out of bounds, and they have hosted high-profile guests such as singer Jamelia and Emma Gannon. Their show is part of the UK-wide Shout Out network, and before coming here, my two guests explained what the show is all about.
It's kind of just a critique on like socio-political issues and British pop culture, just what's happening that affects us as millennials, as black millennials, as women of colour. Just kind of a smorgasbord of what's going on, I guess.
Yeah, it's topical. We talk about what's happening in news, in foolishness and pop culture, and things that generally interest us, as we don't really hear it from a Black British woman perspective.
Well, the two ladies are with me now, and it's Satya and Imriel.
Yes.
Okay, so why did you decide this was so important?
I think it's just because we were always going to the US for our news and representation, and it was getting a bit depressing over there, to be honest. There's a lot going on in the States, especially regarding race relations, and I think it was just important for us to take a step back and look at what's happening in our own backyard, and just talk about what's happening here in Britain, which is quite different from the US.
As well, we're quite invisible here as well, black women in the media. In the news,
I think it's all women in the media, love.
All women. Hashtag all women.
Hashtag all women.
But more so, I think, black women.
Yeah. Yeah. So what made you decide to do it this way, though? To do a podcast?
It was her bright idea and Pester Power. And
So I am the co-founder and CEO of the Shout Out Network, which is the podcast network that hosts loads of podcasts from underrepresented voices. And for me, I just don't feel like I have a face for TV. So I was just like, it's not going to be YouTube. I didn't really like my voice at the start, but now podcasting is quite intimate, and it's about just kind of conveying a message through just your words. So I thought there was something quite powerful in that.
So it's a radio show, basically, with the two of you.
It's super interesting the way we can document our histories, what we're talking about this week, and for future generations, they can listen to us and like laugh at us and the things, our problems that we used to have.
The millennials.
The millennials, yes.
I read a lot about millennials.
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently, your problems are that you want everything now, and you want better than we've ever had.
Well, no, we've got to talk to the generation before us, and they, whipped up the problems that we're facing now. So I'm blaming them.
We also did open a few doors.
You did.
Just so you know.
But we're busting it wide open, I think.
Why is it so significant, do you think, that it is that you've got to shout out? I mean, it's a significant name. It's shouting. It's saying that we're here.
Yeah.
For two young black women in Britain.
Because we just don't see ourselves. I think there are very few black women on TV. It's very difficult we've had a few interviews with young people in media, young black women particularly, and they asked us once, like, can you name some black TV presenters? And we struggled, except for June Sarpong, who's probably the most prominent, and that was years back.
But she was years ago, though.
Years ago.
I mean, she's still active and stuff. Yeah.
But she's just not relevant.
Yeah.
No. It's not that.
But they can't only be one person. There should be many.
I agree. It strikes me as being just daft as well, because there's all that talent that is not being used. Now, Imriel, you are interested in mental health issues in the black community. Why is that so passionate? Why are you so passionate about that?
Yeah, it's very personal to me because I suffer from depression and anxiety. So I felt like I'm really good at talking about it and shining a light on it, and I use the podcast to talk about it. And I think through my experience in sharing that, it kind of destigmatizes it for a lot of us.
And is it a particular issue in the black community, mental health?
I would say it is as much as
stigmatization of it.
I think mental
very
health,
much so.
illness in general, no one really wants to talk about it, and in our community, it's even more so. Everyone's keep it quiet because we've got so many eyes on us. We don't want to have the extra added problem of having mental health issues in our communities as well.
So what is the most powerful thing, do you think, that you've been able to do through this part? I mean, I do a radio show as well. I'm not uncensored. I would love to do an uncensored show.
Do a podcast.
Start one.
Do a podcast.
No one wants to hear what I got to say.
That is the freedom of podcasting.
Yeah.
It's that you
But
can,
how uncensored? I mean, give us
we
Very uncensored.
do not hold back. So there is occasionally explicit language. And we just kind of just say what we feel. And sometimes we get in trouble for doing that. Through the listeners.
That's the way Jamila got on our episode,
Yeah.
actually.
Is it really?
Yeah.
We said something
unpleasant.
Yeah, and then
Listen, where are you going? What next for you? Just hoping this gets picked up? You're gonna
Yeah, so we're just
radio
trying to
show?
grow the audience. I think we're quite happy with podcasting just because it gives us the freedom to just say what we want without restrictions, I guess. And
also
I think
live our lives on the side as well.
yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
freedom with it, and just live shows and just growing the audience. That's what we're trying
Well,
to
so
do.
where
now.
can they find you?
SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify.
And they're looking for shout out.
They're looking for Melanin Millennials. That's the podcast.
Say again.
Melanin Millennial.
Tongue twister.
God,
Tongue
that's not
twister.
easy,
Yeah.
I think I'll leave you saying that. Liz, thank you very much indeed. It's
Thank
been a real
you.
pleasure.
Thank
Good
you,
luck with
Petri.
it. Good
Thank
luck.
you so much.
Thanks for having us.